national anthem is racist. Here's why. The holiday known as the 4th of July marks the adoption of the Declaration of Independence by the 13 original American colonies in 1776. The Star Spangled Banner, however, was not considered to be the U.S. national anthem until 1931. Initially titled The Defense of Fort McHenry, the anthem was written in 1814 by a white dude named Francis Scott Key. In order to understand why the national anthem is so problematic, you gotta know Key's backstory. For starters, Francis Scott Key didn't believe in freedom for all. In fact, he was a slave owner. He thought slaves were an inferior race of people who were untrustworthy and indolent. As district attorney for the city of Washington, he fought to defend slavery, opposing abolitionist cases. It's pretty fair to say dude was a racist. Back to the national anthem. The year was 1814. The US and the British were nearing the end of the War of 1812. Key was on a British ship in the Baltimore Harbor negotiating the release of his homie. Then on September 13, 1814, the British Navy launched an epic attack on Fort McHenry. It lasted 25 hours. Somehow the military base endured the attack, and the next day, the American flag was still standing. Key was so inspired by the sight of the flag that he wrote the Star Spangled Banner, which started out as a 4-stanza lyrical poem. But that third stanza is flaming trash.
And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood hath washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's Jason Johnson. He's the political editor at The Root and an MSNBC contributor. His article, Star Spangled Bigotry, The Hidden Racist History of the National Anthem, reintroduced this story into the nation's memory.
The hirelings were mercenaries, and then the slaves. He was referring to former black slaves who had joined the British. So he's clearly saying, nothing could save you all.
The colonial Marines were runaway American slaves who fought as sailors and soldiers for the British in return for their freedom. Why was Key hating on them?
Francis Scott Key was at the Battle of Bladensburg, and he was a lieutenant at the time for the U.S., and he ran into a battalion of colonial Marines. I mean, they snatched his chain. He was beaten soundly. He was never particularly happy about the idea of freed black men, but then freed black men taking him to the woodshed was more than his ego could handle.
In other words, the author of the U.S. national anthem, Francis Scott Key, had a bruised ego because he got his behind whooped on the battlefield.
If you break this down sort of line by line, this is his clapback.
I'm not surprised by the hypocrisy of this song. The national anthem, written by a slave-owning white man, condemns valiant black soldiers who were fighting for their own liberation.
Anyone who tries to reformat and reboot and reconstitute and play linguistic gymnastics and view this stanza as something other than what it was is trying to put their 2018 attitudes as a way to rationalize and justify what was endemic white supremacy, white nationalism, and bigotry on the part of a man who lived to create what is supposed to be one of the most patriotic songs in American history.
Land of the free, home of the brave. God bless America, I guess.
What's up? I'm PJ with The Root. We want to bring you more series and videos like this, and we need your help. Let us know what you thought below and subscribe to our channel on YouTube.